Hello, it's Kim, and it is May 22nd, 2024 when I am recording this. This is for the following week, sort of a bit. Usually I post on Saturday, Friday or Saturday, a little bit early. But we do what we gotta do, right? And I'm staying, well, you can see that I'm in a different place, but I'm still staying with a friend, and I'm dog sitting right now. So I don't think you'll be able to see her, but she might snore. So, so far she doesn't want to go outside for me. She's like, no, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my owners. Sure, dogs, right? Um, so I'm trying to decide how much details to give, how much tea, right? And technically I have tea, so there you go. But one dig down for the season is the first one. So, of course, getting back into the groove, muscles hurting and that sort of stuff is a thing. I was attacked by a thorn bush, shall we say. I have no idea what type it was, except that it was in my hair and all over me. And a wonderful woman at the lab went, I hope it didn't take your tinsel. And like, you might see it around. But I was like, you are my kind. Um, uh, it's healing now. But if you check Facebook, you can see what it's like. You can see like my arms and different things. So like I don't want anyone to worry when like I move around. I was not mauled by a rabid cat, as I was also said at the lab. I looked like I was like, fine then. It's only been you know, actually technically it had been like already 5 days of it then, but we don't go there. Okay. So my friend who goes by Sage, um, she lent me a deck. It's the This Might Hurt Tarot deck by Isabella Rotman, and she loves it. So much so, it was hard shuffling because I'm not used to it. She has little sleeves on, like, this is the Three of Pentacles, okay? So, if we wanna say like, "Oh my, we got the Three of Pentacles," and it was on the top of the deck, so there you go. Alright, you can take it if you want. But, like, it's interesting. I really like the book. I know I've pre-gotten, all the cards because otherwise you just take like 30 minutes as it is. And, for the Terra Novella Museum, let's just do like a half hour, right? Please, please, right? For my private readings, it's over an hour, to be fair. So this is the This Might Hurt Tarot guidebook. And basically, there's not inversions like what we talk about. Sometimes there's warnings, sometimes there's just general talk about the card and why it represents sort of like how it represents the Ritter White deck and that sort of stuff. It's really interesting. Some of it I will read and I might skip over, like if I'm like, this is not like what we need right now. It's sort of like what I usually do, where I take what I really need to have us have. Okay. I'm gonna fiddle with my poor little necklace because I can. You guys should be thankful. I mean, like super thankful because I'm like, I'm even wearing earrings, baby. I never wear earrings because my ears always bleed and are awful. I'm allergic to the weirdest things. That's why I'm still homeless. Um, allergic, chemical sensitivities. I'm like, why, body, why? Um, But these have been in for a full day and not crying yet. So I'm impressed. Impressed. Okay, let's get to it. All right. So it went a lot in order, but on the bottom of the deck, and what I have as really like how I feel we're going into this reading versus necessarily, this is not like what a lot of readers will be like, this is the energy of, the whole reading. It's not. This is like where we're starting from, is how at the bottom of the deck. So it's not like I mean, it impacts the entire reading if you want to be like, well, it's on a journey and this is what we're coming from and that sort of nature. It's the only swords card that we drew, and we drew no. major arcana, which I thought was interesting. Um, and I shuffled the best I could. It was fighting me a bit, and I'm like, "Ah, I take all 30." All right. So I really do think that we're in this, Eight of Cups sort of thing. Now I always get it a little bit confused with the nine of, excuse me, swords. Not cups, unless you want to take that too. Um, so the Eight of Swords, I always have it bleed into the Nine of Swords. So like the Nine of Swords is where we're being attacked by ourselves. And it's not that we just can't get out and there's a solution, is that we're actually damaging ourselves, and like it's almost like a self-harm card where our overthinking and we're like working against ourselves and we're paralyzed. Now, with the Eight of Swords, it's a woman bound, eight swords around. It is a paralysis, but it is a mental one. There are lots of ways she can get out. The rope isn't really bound. It just feels like it. She thinks it is. The blindfold is not all the way. It can be tucked out. It's just tucked in, so you can just like take it out and like take it off and you'd be fine. Okay. So there's lots of ways out. I'm going to use my my thorns as a way of describing this feeling. Okay. So walking along, following an archaeologist that I really, really respect and want to not look like an idiot in front of. And he is taller, goes through this area that I can't really see. I don't know it's storms. And then I walk in and I'm stuck, but I don't want to tell him I'm stuck. So I just say, "Hey, here is the flag." So he can put it in the proper location and keep going, right? I could have asked for help. I didn't. And the thorns had taken over my hair, all around my body, just like bound all around my ankles. I tried moving and I was like, I'm gonna fall. Like I'm so trapped by this and I don't want anyone else to save me. I have to do this by myself. I didn't yell. So while I am still like they should have like looked for me, this is this card. Sort of like stuck in our own heads. There's lots of ways out. You can ask for help. You can stop panicking. All right. And what I had to do, in my panicked state was stand still, kept hurting because I had to wound my hands as I took it out of my hair first. My hair was up. I didn't have a hat on though. And then I unwound it from my body, the rest of my arms. And it was very systematic. And finally, my feet, I was freed. So, like, there are like, I'm using this as an example of there are ways of going through and, getting out of this position, okay? And I think, what the rest of the reading, including the other deck, is going for is really that idea of we make our own prison, you know? And there's ways out, we just don't see them, or we're blind to them. We don't let ourselves see them. Sometimes we need to ask. And sometimes we can't judge ourselves so harshly. Okay. So I'm going to put that aside. You're not as trapped as you think you are. And this is a very traditional card, actually. A woman is blindfolded, bound, and caged by the Eight of Swords. She appears completely trapped. There's so much she can do with limited sight and movement. She could yell for help. She could what else? She could scheme her way out, or she could grab a sword in her hands. Any of those swords caging her would become an asset. So think about that. What's caging you that you can turn for your good? Feeling so deeply stuck that you have stopped looking for ways to save yourself. If you act, you'll be forced to acknowledge that you have some power over this garbage situation, which is a hard thing to admit. This card's made me think of my own experience with depression, where I found it difficult to pursue happiness and make choices that would have improved my situation. And this is Isabella Rotman's words. Don't waste time blaming yourself. There's probably a very good reason that you feel trapped. Shame. Shame will only increase your feelings of helplessness. What is important now is to recognize your power and cut yourself free. Get rid of those thorns. They will make you bleed, right? Who knows? You can probably see a lot of them. Some of them are healing now. They have puncture wounds too. But despite that, got out. Wasn't easy per se, right? But it's possible. And I think that that's good for us to know, especially as we go forward. Okay. Our first card is a Nine of Wands, and it was inverted. And because I read that, I read through it a little bit. Believe me, this is my first time using it. I did not have this memorized. Um, but she used chewed pens for the artist. Now it's the drawing artist, the creative, the writer, and it's the chewed pens and the late nights and the redos and the the minutia of just trying to get everything not just perfect, but like right and getting stuff done and being like, that's my work out there. It is just so close because the 10 of wands is like completion, your project gets done and out there. And this is close. This is the work that comes before it, where it is just sludge at times. I mean, you ask any writer, like, especially like, let's say like a novel writer, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, those, that it's like the 10 pages before the 10-page ending. Like by that point, depending on any draft, it's too much. Going through my copy editing, like when the publishers come back to me, I'm like, oh, drudgery. Okay, so that's like sort of what's getting in. I'm gonna read some of what she says because it is interesting. I'm gonna keep up it describes the art some. You can see that there's like a glimmer, that's the plastic that's keeping it protected. I believe this is a Chicago artist that did this deck. This is the I'm still standing card. And we have to remember that, okay, with that energy there of what we're going through, I'm still standing. I think that might be my mantra for the next several weeks. I don't know about you. Um, it says like nines are about maturing and seeing clearly. Awareness means showing how suits deal with the problems inherent in their nature. If you live by the fiery wands of passion, you're likely to get beaten, tired, and bloodied more than once in your pursuit of what fuels you. It says in the Rider Waite Smith version of the Nine of Wands, a man who has nearly had the snot kicked out of him stands ready to fight another day. I chose to draw someone hard at work after many hours. The chewed pens are wands, symbolize creative energy, so it keeps us going. As a self-employed artist, I connect to this character deeply. In working this hard, he has neglected other aspects of his life, which might include sufficient sleep, a social life, or moments of leisure. What are those? Whatever the conflict is, keep fighting. What is important to note is the Nine of Wands is that it tells you to hold your ground to the final push, not to live like this forever. I know. Like, look at me. I'm like, but that's why we have cycles, right? I'm gonna interject. That's why we have cycles. You get to the point where you're almost published, you're almost burned out. You publish, you're totally burnt out, and you are like, then it's trying social media and trying to get it bought. And then it's like you start again, right? But hopefully a little bit rested and energized again. So it's not like this is perpetual. You don't want this to be perpetual. I'm not sure it's sustainable. I run manic and it's hard to sustain. This is a hardship worth bearing, but don't make it your whole life. You are strong. You have endured, and you need to keep enduring. The end is in sight. Like I said, this is the first one that we had. It was inverted and like they no inversions. But like if you do take inversions, just like think about it as a question mark. Are you living in this energy? I am. It's sort of like the I have to do it all energy too. I have to get it all done. And there is no way of getting everything done. But somehow we do it, and usually it's like, I'll stay up 24 hours and drink all this coffee, and then there's like crash and burn. The stuff gets done, but it isn't pretty and it's not really good for us. So there are choices. So like that would be like the question mark, I would say, after that's inverted. Let me get to the next one. Okay. Next one was the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, usually this is like beginning of career, a beginning of putting a seed in the ground of something that we are ready to like manifest. Usually it has to do like with possessions almost. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna write. Like I feel like that's very a wands thing. Cups I feel are very much like, it's considered water, so emotions. Swords, I always felt like thoughts of some sort, that are powerful and like so like the Ace of Pentacles, like I said, like a lot of times it's coins, it has different versions, but it's usually a different type of abundance. So this is like putting money in the bank and seeing if it grows and saving the money and starting something. So this is the start, the beginning of something that's going to manifest when it's like the 10 of Pentacles. Now, I have to get the name. Isabella Rotman has it that this card is for new jobs, new homes, money coming your way, or a new relationship with your body. See, that's interesting. I would never have thought of that as one, but I like it. It is not a promise that any of these things will work out perfectly for you, but it is an open door. Beneath the godlike hand offering you the shining golden pentacle is a verdant gate. I should put that back up. There's a gate. Past the gate is a beautiful garden, lush with fruit and opportunity. Will you go inside? What seeds will you plant there? And it says that it encourages you have to have and nourish whatever opportunities being presented to you. If none of them seem to be coming your way, seek them out. I'm kind of like, all right, this is a fence on the fence. All right. I have body images, and I admit that I have an eating starter. So it's getting better. But so I'm going to read this, and then I will say, all right, apply for the job, plant a garden, get a gym membership, or start selling your handmade jewelry on the internet. Sometimes we have to make our own opportunities. Now, I'm going to address the gym membership. There are many ways to know your body and love your body, and it doesn't have to be the gym. It doesn't have to be diet. Mine actually like wound up being archaeology, which like stimulated the mind, and then also I was able to like learn how my body moves. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Can I lift 80-pound buckets now after 2 and some years? Yes. Do I still fall as much? Well, I didn't fall this last time, and it wasn't 8. I didn't fall 8 times like the first time. So there you go. Okay. There's learning ourselves versus limiting ourselves because we look a certain way or we feel a certain way. So if getting gym membership or walking more makes you feel better, go for it. Okay. But I don't want it to be like, this is a sign that you're fat. No, no, please don't. Please don't. Please. Because if anyone is going to take it that way, it'd be me. And I'm not. That's gross. Definitely gross. Our next one is the Four of Pentacles. And I was like, it's usually like the I call the miserly card, and it is in this excerpt too. I'm gonna read just a little bit of it. But it's like, like he's clutching his pentacles, and it's a big world out there. And the question that she raises is, with the miserly sort of card, and with so much focus on the physical manifestations, the abundance that's like physical coins, that can be like money or property, or or you go and you hoard something. We all have our somethings, but um it's too much. You're not willing to share, sort of like the overall sort of thing. You're not willing to share, and that limits you. So when you're not willing to give that money, then what happens, Um, I feel this way sometimes every time, like lately, I see a homeless person. I'm like, I usually give them $10, but I can't because I'm homeless too, right? Like I don't know what's going to go on. I'm couch surfing. I have my parents still sort of supporting me like in food and stuff, but I'm like, what am I? Should I give them that 10 or should I save it for myself and my dreams? And usually I feel called to be like, if I go past them again, like in a McDonald's, and I go past them again out to the front, I do it, and sort of suggests everyone do it and talk to people. They thank you, even if you're in a rush. Thank you so much. And it's this smile, just that brief smile that changes this my miserly card, and sort of takes it and makes me go on a different journey. And I don't think about all what I lack, and it doesn't mean that you have to necessarily go, oh, my life is better than blah blah blah. No, it's not about, ranks. Um, but sometimes you look at life a little bit differently with that smile, like people change us all the time. It says it's good to be prudent with resources, but are you hoarding at your own expense? Does your attachment to your earthly goods prevent you from engaging in experiences that make your life great? Is it time to ask yourself, why are you being so tight fisted? Maybe you've always been privileged, or maybe you know what scarcity feels like, and you're terrified to go back. The only people who say money doesn't matter are people who've always had it, right? Now that's the question. I'm not sure that's completely and totally accurate. I don't like making that type of generalization, but you do. I'm getting sinusy. The dog is snoring. I hope you can still hear me. And I'm like, oh, allergic to the dog. Regardless of the reason, this dynamic is holding you back. Your money and your things are meant to serve you, not hold you back. Okay, so it suggests loosen your hold on the pentacles, on your stuff, and enjoy life and help with the resources of others. Sort of what we just said. But that is what the book says. All right. So I mean, like that's sort of like that feeling of generosity leads to generosity back. I have gotten my love and I don't know, and my money tenfold of what I've given. So just as being like in the state of couch surfing, couch surfing, serving. Um, I don't know, plan back. It could have been so much worse. I was planning on being in my car, and I was only going to be out for a week, and it's going to be 3 months, maybe longer. It's looking like longer. So, like there is something about putting energy, any type, it doesn't have to be money, but energy out into the world and getting it back. And I'm not all about that threefold, Wiccan. I was going to say that Wiccan crap. Sorry, Wiccans. Um, but I'm not all love and light. I have a dark side. I do. I mean, like I believe in balance. And well, would you balancer? So it's just like, oh, that. mm, getting it back, it is amazing, and it's hard to take. So that's also sort of like this miserly card. Now it doesn't really, I'm not sure it really says it in most books, but to me, this feels like also you're not allowing it to come to you. You're holding on to what you have. So if somebody's willing to help you more and you're like, no, I can't, which I do all the time. Um, Perhaps, like if you need help, allow assistance. That's like my other message that I am supposed to tell you, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how this works. All right. Then we have our Ace of Cups. Okay. And this was inverted, so you can leave it as a question mark if you choose. So you can just say, oh, is this a question? Is it happening? Is it on its way to happening? It's almost there. And if you just take like without inversions upright, it's a still a very auspicious card. Usually, it's usually love, soulmates, that sort of thing. If you believe in soulmates, I sort of do. It's not quite the divine counterpart card, but definitely is like you're on your journey. If you believe in the divine counterparts. So this is the potential of beginning, she says. Your cup overfloweth is what it's called. I think of each ace as the hand of the universe or God, if you're inclined, offering you a chance. So there's that question mark, that chance, right? You have to take it. The cup usually represents a glorious opportunity being offered to you. It is a choice to drink or not. The card will often come to us when we are close to a new experience that will grow our capacity for giving and receiving all forms of love and fulfillment. It's a great card for romance. It agrees with me. And it could be anything. Oh, I like this. It could be anything that enthralls your emotions, a new friendship, pet, a project. Let me get my head up. Community. And it's just the beginning of a cycle. It says, take the cup. I really think that's interesting. Take the cup. I like that as as a message. Looking to see which one was first. Our next one was the King of Cups. And this one is intriguing because of actually like why it was drawn and how it was drawn. Usually the King of Cups is right. And it's like the complete master of emotions, completely involved and like, yeah, this sort of turbulent water. And like this King of Wands is going, yeah, I can do this. Well, she drew the king, it's called leadership through emotional strength. She drew this because it says her grandfather in a dinghy where we made many happy memories together. My grandfather has Alzheimer's. His short term memory leaves him, situation which he understands but does not battle. He is aging with grace and cheerfulness that I can only imagine. He knows he is loved and he is happy. The King of Cups shows true emotional strength in the face of difficulty in this way. He supports the people around him. Oh, I am tearing up. I was trying not to. Dealt with Alzheimer's. Oh, just a bit. Complete mastery, going through incredible pain in situations that are uncomfortable, if not painful. And then just rowing the boat, right? Through it and living the best you can. Incredible concept. Hard to do. That's why it's the king. This is how we do go through life, or how we're being called, perhaps. Row the boat, keep going, and smile, not in the way that it's like, guys tell you to smile all the time, but if you're a woman, usually, I've gotten it many times. How about you smile? No, it's more like, how about you have joy, or at least a little bit of positivity, because it'll help you go through, the challenges a little easier. Mhm. And that's not just for other people. It's like you're like, oh, hey, they're helping me, because I smile. It's for yourself. You do it for yourself because you're like, I could cry for, teens months, or I could smile, still try to go on, live the best way I can. And by grace, something will happen. Sometimes faith really is faith, and I trust no one. So if anyone can tell you about needing faith, it's me because I trust no one. That's not true. Trust one person.
And that took a long time, and we actually had, like, a "we trust each other" to avoidant moment. Very rare. So, like, trusting is hard. Giving up control, oh dear my, is very, very difficult. Just realized that I'm not in my car and I can move. So, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I can even get a drink. Never gonna hear me sip because I'm not pausing. Yeah, that's right. That's how I roll. This is the Knight of Wands. I thought it was perfect, perfect card to end on for this portion. Knight of Wands, fast moving, goes no matter what, runs, 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 or in this case, has a motorcycle, fast, manifesting, going for dreams. Nothing stops her or him, but this is her. Nothing. Okay. The one who rides like she's on fire. It's the one that goes with my one of my sayings that I say all the time. Well, I don't say it as much, but with the right people I do, right, that need it. Right? Like the stars are about to shatter tomorrow. I also add sometimes glass, which is why I pause. Sometimes we have to write like the stars will shatter like glass tomorrow. Sometimes we need extra words. Okay. So like that's that energy. Like it isn't gonna exist tomorrow. So we have to do it today. We run like the wind and we go for it. Like Kim's life, Kim's life. I don't really have a place to stay and not have indefinite resources. But like the aurora borealis was going to be able to be seen probably in Maryland one more day. I missed the first one because of complete cloud cover and I was busy. I mean, so busy. I was like so busy. I wound up like passing out. See, and I was like, you know what? I was after an archaeology lab with the Boy Scouts. If you, I probably posted it, but and then I went and I just drove and drove and drove until there wasn't cloud cover, and then it started raining. I saw a rainbow and I saw, lightning storms, two of them. I was not in the hail, but I drove over it. I was in mist, I was in fog, complete downpour, and then the clouds parted. The moon was amazing. It was a perfect crescent. Like if you like, I don't even know in photos, it'd be like maybe in paintings, it's perfect. And then I looked out and it's very faint because it was not like super strong. It was supposed to be like I was in a car, I couldn't like use my phone and go, oh, I saw it. Saw a green flash and the hills and the mountains had this purple sort of like hovering glow, like they glowed. I will never forget it. And I know that it's more striking where I was going to go. Was planning, who knows what'll happen. But in December, I was like, I'm going to go see it. Well, I saw it, bucket list. And I wouldn't have seen it if I didn't go fast and get there and just do it. And no excuses. Just keep going. Went 3 hours away, and I should have just kept going to Morgantown, but I didn't. Alright, let me get it. I'll tell you, this is the I'll be honest, this is the oracle that I found in my car, and, I don't know where the others are. They're somewhere under 15 gallons of water, like 15, like, milk jugs of water. So, creativity oracle it is. Sorry, guys. Alright. This card was sort of last. I really read it as first. Indecision. Decide not to make a decision at this time. This will be a constructive, valid, and useful decision. 52. Okay, so like take a pause, right? I was freaking out before this reading. I mean, like freaking out. I don't know, like, the lights here, and I keep thinking the people are gonna come home, and, like, "Hey, now, I'm not sure how into tarot they are in oracle readings." Perfectionism. See, it goes right there. Be content to know perfection as a distant utopian goal, which we journey but never arrive. 33. Now, I've been seeing a lot of threes, so this one, baby, is for me. It's probably for you too, but it's definitely for me. I have been beating myself up about every mistake I have made in the last 5 days. I can't get it out of my head. Some of these things are cyclical. Watching the dog. Some of these are cyclical. Hey, baby. You might have a dog sighting. We at least have a dog hearing. So, oh, no, just collapsed. Right, like you do. 33, right? So, a lot of people, if you're like 333, 33, there's meanings. Like with the threes, I definitely get like this sense of, like it's like the number that's in everything. You have three, if you have repetition in a poem, you do it 3 times. And if you have, you have odd numbers if you are going to make a flower arrangement and that sort of thing, like it just seems to be what's done. Now, I agree that it's pleasing, but is it because it's learned? I don't know. But so to me, as perfectionism is trying to get those threes, right? Line it up, make it work right, blah, 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 blah. I would like to be perfect, but I decided it would be boring. I want to be efficient and I want to be not incompetent. I mean, like, not incompetent does not mean confident to me, okay? Uh, Generosity. You can afford to be generous with the gift of your time and attention. 36. Okay, so that's what we talked about. Get rid of those 4 pentacles, or don't get rid of them. Just set them aside for a time. Think about something else. Oh, I like them dancing. Happy accident. Fortunate accidents can act as guides to edit and be open to where you should go next. 61. If you make a mistake, maybe you just have to learn how to fix it and how to do it next time. I keep telling myself that. It's hard. This wounds. And we've drawn this several times now. And I do shuffle. Withheld support from the past can cause low self esteem and that cripples action. 41. We have pulled that how many weeks in a row? I mean, like, I know that I had that problem, but I mean, like, must be a collective energy for that much, right? So let's talk about, childhood wounding. And even if you're not a child, and like I'm an adult child, right? I'm still being wounded, right? People's actions and decisions are affecting me poorly, shall we say. And it hurts. I'm not good enough. I don't have a place to be. I mean, these are things that repeat in my head. And I'm certain that it repeats in everyone's head. Where do I belong? Where is home? And like everyone says that home is supposed to be with us. And that is just like the thing. Like we are our own home. Okay, well then Kim is living the dream because we decided not a turtle. I'm a hermit crab because I bring like my all my belongings with me in my car. Bring home, and a question mark, maybe a house in my car. Stuff. And like I can see home being in a person, but you don't want to like meld into that person either. You want to be an individual. So that's what I take it as meaning. Like heal your inner child, connect with others. Just don't like lose yourself in your job or a person or always sort of keep an identity. You can still be a hermit crab though. It's all right. I am. But not forever. Not forever. Right? That's like that 9 of wands energy. It's not forever. We just do it until we manifest that 10. And then we take that break. And when we wake up, we still drink that coffee and we start over. All right. Well, have a wonderful week. be safe, be strong, be everything. Take breaks for yourself. Uh, make sure you know that you're loved. All right. Take care. Bye.